Welcome to Season 8 of High School Quiz Show Maine, where we're continuing to whittle 16 teams down to 8 for the quarterfinals. Which of today's teams will have their chance? Will it be the Rams of Bangor High School? Or the Clippers of Yarmouth High School? Find out next on High School Quiz Show Maine.
Production support for High School Quiz Show Maine is provided by Energy is about more than just keeping the lights on. It's about living life. As parents, friends, and teammates, Unitil is proud to support High School Quiz Show Maine. Unitil, more than a utility, part of your community.
From whoops to uh-oh to oh no. Safety insurance can help you manage life's storms, even the indoor kind. Since 1852, Bangor Savings Bank has been dedicated to keeping New Englanders at the heart of what they do. That means investing in communities they serve and supporting families and businesses. You matter more.
And by viewers like you. Thank you.
Welcome to Season 8 of High School Quiz Show Maine. I'm your host, Todd Gutner. The Season 8 qualifying matches roll on as we work our way towards the championship and the $1,000 grand prize. In our sixth match, we have a former champion taking on another veteran team. The Rams of Bangor are making their 7th appearance on the show, more than any other school. They're also a former champ, having taken home the crown in Season 2. But the Clippers of Yarmouth High School are hoping their third time on the show includes their first trip to the finals. Let's get things going by meeting the teams. For Bangor, we have Sophie, Lizzie, Parker, and Paul, with alternate Riley and coaches Carl Robbins and Susanna Owen. And for Yarmouth, we have Elise, Matthew, Maddie, and Caroline, with alternates Kevin and Chester, and they're coached by Sarah Wilson. The competition has 4 rounds. We have a toss-up round, we have a head-to-head round, the category round, and the lightning round. We'll start with the toss-up round. All answers are worth 10 points, and this is the only round with no point deductions for wrong answers. Players must wait for me to complete the question, and if one team answers incorrectly, the other team will be given a chance to answer. Is everybody ready? All right, let's get going. Here's the first question. A 2024 movie had King Kong teaming up with what reptilian giant of the monster movie universe? Caroline on the end.
Godzilla.
Godzilla, yes. Encompassing more than 6.5 million square feet of office space, what building in Virginia is the headquarters of the U.S. Department of Defense? Matthew.
The Pentagon.
Pentagon, right. What term that comes from the words picture and element was coined in the 1960s as a name for the photographic units that make up an image on a TV screen? Matthew again.
A pixel.
A pixel is also right again. The highest mountain in Greece shares what name with the home of the gods in Greek mythology? Matthew.
Olympus.
Olympus, that's a hat trick. 3 for 3. Up next, we have a picture question. Here's a monitor. Take a look at it. Discovered in 1799 in the Nile Delta town of Rashid by French soldiers commanded by Napoleon Bonaparte, this large stone slab contains script in 3 ancient languages, helping scholars decipher Egyptian hieroglyphics. What is the name of this important ancient artifact? Elise, Yarmouth.
Rosetta Stone.
Rosetta Stone, right. What legendary Major League Baseball center fielder who died in June 2024 at age 93 played most of his career for the Giants in New York and San Francisco and ended his career with the Mets in 1973? That'd be Willie Mays. Willie Mays. Next question. The first Gen Z member of the U.S. House of Representatives is Maxwell Frost, who was elected in 2022 to represent the 10th Congressional District of which state? Lizzie did get in there.
New Hampshire?
New Hampshire's incorrect. Yarmouth, you want to give it a shot? Go ahead, take a guess, Caroline.
New York.
New York, incorrect. It's Florida. Florida. We move on. In the 1970s, the moment magnitude scale replaced the Richter scale for measuring the intensity of what natural phenomena? Sophie?
Earthquakes.
Earthquakes, right. Which play by William Shakespeare opens with the line, "Now is the winter of our discontent," spoken by the Duke of Gloucester, who is plotting to become King of England? Lizzie, Bangor?
Hamlet.
That's incorrect. Yarmouth? Go ahead, Maddie.
Othello.
Richard III is the right answer. Next up, we have a video question. Again, the monitor's right here.
I'm Aislinn Sarnacki, the host of Borealis on Maine Public, and here's my question for you. Homerus americanus is a scientific name for what creature that Maine is famous for?
Matthew, Yarmouth.
The moose.
Incorrect. Want to give it a shot, Bangor? Go ahead, go for it, Lizzie.
The black bear.
Black bear, also incorrect. It's the American or Atlantic lobster. All right, next question. Laguna Colorada in Bolivia and Lake Nakuru in Kenya are known for flocks of what long-legged pink birds that feed on the algae in the water? Sophie?
Flamingo.
Flamingo, yes. Since April 2008, what concert series has featured more than 1,000 musicians performing live for a small audience at the National Public Radio office in Washington, D.C.? Parker?
The Gov Ball.
That's incorrect. Yarmouth, you want to go for it? Go ahead, Caroline.
A tiny desk concert.
You got it. Nice job. Although Paul Revere is best known for his midnight ride at the start of the Revolutionary War, his main profession was which of these things? A farmer, a lawyer, or a silversmith? Elise?
Silversmith.
That's right. Math question, so you should have pencil and paper. Here's the question. A restaurant menu offers a choice of 4 appetizers, 7 main dishes, and 6 desserts. If a meal consists of an appetizer, a main dish, and a dessert, how many different meals can be made from these menu choices? Lizzie, Bangor.
168.
Yeah, you got it. Nice job. You didn't think you got it? Well, it was a heck of a guess then. Next question. Which Romanov Tsar, who died in 1725, traveled extensively in Western Europe and brought many of its philosophies and fashions back to Russia with him? Caroline.
Peter the Great.
That is the right answer. How is the number 9 represented in binary? 1001 is the answer. Blue whales, bowhead whales, and right whales don't have teeth. Instead, they have bristly plates of keratin that they use to filter food from the water. What is the name for this bristly plate? I think it was after, correct? Yep, after. You rang in just a little too late, Sophie. The answer is baleen. Was that what you were going to say? Oh, that's a bummer. I'm sorry. Here's our next question. Cogito ergo sum, or I think therefore I am, is a statement most closely identified with what 17th century French philosopher? Elise?
Descartes.
Yes, nice. What man who was the 27th President of the United States became Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court after he was president? That would be Taft, William H. Taft. Dendrochronology is a scientific method based on determining the age of which of these things? Is it rocks, is it stars, or is it trees? Caroline?
Trees.
Trees is right. The 3 ships of Christopher Columbus's 1492 voyage to the New World were the Nina, the Pinta, and which other ship that was his flagship? Go ahead, Parker.
The Santa Marie.
That's incorrect. Yarmouth, you want to try? Go ahead, Elise.
Santa Maria.
That is the right answer. It was just a little off, Parker, sorry. From the Greek words for tube and wingless, the order Siphonaptera is made up of what blood-sucking insects that love to annoy dogs and cats? Go ahead, Elise.
Mosquitoes.
That's incorrect. Bangor, you want to try? Go ahead, Parker.
Ticks.
Close. It's fleas. You're on the right path there, though. Next question. In Utah's state nickname comes from what natural object that symbolizes individuals working together for the good of their community? You got in there, Caroline.
Star.
That's incorrect. Bangor? Lizzie?
A colony?
On the right path, beehive. Beehive. Math question. This is the second and last one. Two legs of a triangle measure 6 and 11 respectively. In whole numbers, what is the greatest possible measurement of the third leg of this triangle? Matthew?
16.
16. Great job. Ooh, that's the end of our first round. We've got a score of Bangor 30, Yarmouth 120. Looks like we've got a great match underway here. Don't go anywhere. We will meet the players when we get back. Before we go to the head-to-head round, we like to pause and get to know our players with that slightly silly question. And this time it is, if you could be the host of any show, what show would you choose? We'll start over here. Bangor. Sophie, what's your thought?
I would say SNL.
SNL?
Yes.
Are you a big fan?
Yes.
Are you able to stay up every Saturday night to watch it?
No, I watch it on Sunday night.
That makes sense. Lizzie, your turn.
I'd say the Great British Baking Show.
Oh, I love cooking shows. That's a really good one. I love that a lot. Parker.
I would say Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, you know they just replaced their host. Yeah. You could have been the next one. Paul, go ahead.
I'd say High School Quiz Show.
Oh my gosh, really? You're coming after me? Why? Why High School Quiz Show?
Because my sister did it and I loved watching
cool.
it. Yeah.
Did she do well when she was on it?
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah, great. Awesome. Let's head over to Yarmouth. Elise?
Probably any cooking show.
You're into cooking as well?
I am, yeah.
Do you like the dessert rounds or the
Ooh,
entree
anything.
rounds?
I like to just do the whole meal.
The whole thing. And do you cook a lot at home?
I do, yeah.
Awesome. Good for you. Matthew?
I'd go with Family Feud.
Family Feud. Okay, why?
Well, it's not like I don't like Steve Harvey, but like I love Steve Harvey, right? And I would kill to have his job. They're the funniest people, yeah.
He really is one of the funniest humans on the planet. You're right. Maddie, your turn.
I'd probably go with Jeopardy.
Oh, Jeopardy's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you like a religious watcher of it?
Not a religious watcher, but I sometimes will, like on a Saturday or a Sunday night, I'll sit down with my mom and dad and we'll watch a Jeopardy episode.
And you'll just
or two.
like binge for
Yeah.
a while?
Mhm.
Cool. Caroline?
I feel like I'd have to go with the Massachusetts quiz show because I'm not coming for your job, but I still love the idea.
I appreciate you not coming at me like that.
Yeah, of
Thank
course.
you, Caroline.
Yeah.
Thank you, both teams. All right, the head-to-head round is next, but let's see how well you do with our viewer question of the week.
Hi, I'm Jake Cody from Bangor Savings Bank, and this is your viewer question of the week. America's oldest shoe store is Colburn Shoe Store in Belfast. It has been owned by only 2 different families in its history. What year did it begin? Keep track of your answers and tune into the semifinals for part 2 of the Viewer Question Challenge.
Okay, it's time for the head-to-head round. Players alternate facing off one-on-one right here at the desk. Correct answers are worth 10 points. Incorrect answers will cost you 10 points. There are 90 seconds on the game clock. Players ready? Here we go. In the Northern Hemisphere, the longest day of the year occurs in which month?
December. No.
Incorrect. June. Vocalist Steven Tyler and guitarist Joe Perry are founding members of which classic rock band from Boston? Aerosmith. The official residence of Jamaica's Prime Minister is Vale Royale, a historic home in what city that is Jamaica's capital? Kingston. Which master gland at the base of the brain releases the hormones oxytocin and vasopressin into the bloodstream? Pituitary gland. Which U.S. Supreme Court decision from 1803 established the doctrine of judicial review? Marbury versus Madison. Name the only U.S. president to ever resign from office.
Nixon.
Nixon. All right, we got one. In taxonomy, what rank lies between kingdom and class? Phylum. What South American capital city is named after the Spanish word for peace?
La Paz.
La Paz, yes. In Greek myth, who killed the Gorgon Medusa?
Perseus.
Yes, Perseus. Approximately 80% of all Soviet males born in 1923 died in what war? World War II. What two-word Latin phrase? Oh, that's the end of the head-to-head round, and we've got a score of Bangor 20, Yarmouth 150. The category round is next, so don't go away.
Production support for High School Quiz Show Maine is provided by
Sit up. Ready to learn? I'm a proud member of the Maine Education Association. English is my second language, and I am a teacher that teaches multilingual learners. My name is Nez Griffin, and I am MEA.
The Worthington Scholarship Foundation, dedicated to the success of Maine students by providing scholarships and personalized support throughout their college journeys. Application deadline is April 15th. worthingtonscholars.org.
Live and work in Maine, providing resources to those who want to relocate, move within, or stay in Maine. Proud to sponsor High School Quiz Show Maine and thanking Maine's educators and schools for preparing the workforce of tomorrow.
And by viewers like you. Thank you.
Next up, we have the category round with the following choices. B movies, Animals on the Map, Shiver Me Timbers, a hard category, Go with the FLOTUS, and Found in Translation. Each team will alternate control of 2 category questions, have increasing point values. With each question, they can choose to answer and either gain or lose points. They can skip it and neither gain nor lose points, or once per category, they can toss it to the other team and force them to answer. Players will have 5 seconds to confer and decide what to do. Bangor, you trail, so you have control of the board. And Lizzie, what category would you like?
Translation.
All right.
Found in translation.
Found in translation. These are going to be questions about books originally published in a language other than English. Here we go. What illustrated novella about a young person traveling the universe was published simultaneously in French and English in 1943 and now exists in more than 500 official translations?
The Little Prince.
The Little Prince is correct. Found in translation for 15. Even though it's most closely associated with Disney today, what story about a deer's life in the woods was written by Austrian author Felix Salten and published in German in 1923?
Bambi.
Bambi, right. Found in translation for 20. Originally published in Chinese in 1964, the text known as the Little Red Book contains 267 quotations from which political leader of China?
Confucius.
That's incorrect. It's Mao. Which novel by Hermann Hesse was originally published in German in 1922, is set in India, and is based on the early life of the Buddha?
We're going to skip.
Want to skip? It's Siddhartha. Siddhartha. Found in translation for 30, the last question in the category. Originally published in Japanese, the novels Norwegian Wood and Kafka on the Shore were written by what author?
We're going to toss.
You want to toss over to Yarmouth? Okay, so I'm going to reread the question for Yarmouth here. Originally published in Japanese, the novels Norwegian Wood and Kafka on the Shore were written by what author?
Murakami.
You guys nailed it. Nice job, Murakami. That wraps up the first category. Yarmouth, it's your turn. Matthew, which category is it going to be?
We'll take B movies.
B movies. These are questions about movies whose titles begin with the letter B. What movie, directed by Greta Gerwig, was the highest-grossing American film of 2023?
Barbie.
Barbie, yes. B movies 15. In which comedy from 1988 does Michael Keaton play a rambunctious character who returns from the afterlife to cause trouble in a Connecticut town?
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice, also right. Princess Merida, who is very talented with a bow and arrow, is the main character in which 2012 animated film set in Scotland?
Brave.
Brave, also right. B movies 25. Emma Watson starred in what 2017 live-action musical film based on an 18th century French romantic fairy tale?
Beauty and the Beast.
You guys are on a roll. B movies for 30, last one. A 2015 movie that stars Steve Carell and Christian Bale has what title that refers to a financial strategy that allowed investors to profit from the real estate mortgage crisis of 2008? What do you want to do, Matthew?
We're going to toss this one.
You want to toss it over to Bangor? Okay, I'll reread this question for you. A 2015 movie that stars Steve Carell and Christian Bale has what title that refers to a financial strategy that allowed investors to profit from the real estate mortgage crisis of 2008? Got anything, Lizzie?
No.
No, it's The Big Short. The Big Short. All right, that wraps up B movies. Bangor, your second category will be?
Animals on the map.
Animals on the map. Questions about places with animal names. Here's the first one. The largest lake in Maine by area is which lake whose name comes from its resemblance to a certain animal?
Moosehead Lake.
Moosehead. Animals on the map for 15. Which city on Lake Erie is the second most populous incorporated city in New York State?
Buffalo.
Buffalo is right. Now we have animals on the map for 20. Whitehorse is the capital and most populous city of which Canadian territory? Lizzie, going to need you to do something.
Toronto.
That's incorrect. It's Yukon territory. Yukon territory. Animals on the map for 25. Which city in Florida has a name that is Spanish for mouth of a mouse?
We're going to skip.
You want to skip that? So the answer is Boca Raton. And animals on the map for 30. Yaoundé is the capital of which country of Western Africa, whose name comes from the Portuguese for shrimp? Would you like to toss, skip, or?
We're going to toss.
You want to toss it over to Yarmouth. Okay, here's the question again. Animals on the map. Yaoundé is the capital of which country in Western Africa, whose name comes from the Portuguese word for shrimp?
Cameroon.
Cameroon, nice job. All right, that wraps up animals on the map. We go back to Yarmouth. Matthew, your second category will be?
We'll take Go with the FLOTUS.
Go with the FLOTUS. These are questions about First Ladies of the United States, which is what FLOTUS stands for. Which former First Lady of the U.S. was elected as a U.S. Senator representing New York in November 2000?
Hillary Clinton.
That is right. Go with the FLOTUS, 15. When they go low, we go high is a famous line from a speech delivered by which former First Lady at the 2016 Democratic Convention?
Michelle Obama.
Yes. Go with the FLOTUS, 20. Known for hosting bipartisan functions in Washington, D.C., which First Lady is famous for rescuing a portrait of George Washington from the White House just before a British military attack during the War of 1812?
Dolly Madison.
Dolly Madison, also right. Go with the FLOTUS, 25. Raising awareness for breast cancer screening and increasing access to treatment for substance abuse were two important contributions of which First Lady whose husband became president in 1974?
Oh, I don't know Reagan's wife. I think skip. Skip.
We'll skip.
You'll skip. It's Betty Ford. That's the answer. Go with the FLOTUS, 30. The first First Lady to graduate from college was Lucy Hayes, nicknamed Lemonade Lucy. Because of her husband, Rutherford B. Hayes was a temperance advocate who would not permit what to be served at the White House?
Alcohol?
You guys all got it collectively. Alcohol is the right answer. That wraps up our category round. Bangor 0, Yarmouth 355. It's the lightning round that's next, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So sit tight. We'll be right back. Okay, we're heading into the lightning round now, the final 90 seconds of gameplay. Players, you do not have to wait for me to finish the question. You can buzz in at any time, but do not answer until I call your name. You get 20 points for each correct answer. Incorrect answers will cost you 20, and the other team does not get a chance to answer that question. The clock is set. Good luck. Here we go. Hoglins, Zoglins, and Creepers are hostile.
Minecraft?
Caroline on the end.
Minecraft.
Minecraft, yes. Which figure from Greek mythology led the Argonauts in a quest for the Golden Fleece? Caroline again.
Jason.
Jason, yes. Which is the largest and deepest of the world's 5 major oceans? Caroline.
Pacific.
You're rolling. In the Harry Potter books, what's the name of Ron Weasley's little sister? Sophie.
Ginny.
Ginny, good job. Jefferson City is the capital of which U.S. state? Caroline.
Missouri.
Missouri. Chlorine and fluorine are in what state of matter at room temperature? Matthew.
Gas.
Gas, right. What founder of the Standard Oil Company is considered the... Caroline again?
Rockefeller.
Right. In which Apollo mission did a human walk on the moon for the first... Sophie.
11.
Can you give me a... Oh, yes, 11 is right. What is the name of the title character in The Hobbit? Sophie.
Bilbo Baggins.
You got it. Which Austrian composer wrote the Blue Danube Waltz? Just a little late. It was Strauss. What's the next prime number after 19? Sophie.
23.
Yes. What is the official currency of Germany and France? Sophie.
Euro.
You're nailing it. A gherkin is a tiny pickled type of... Maddie.
Cucumber.
Yes. Karen, Hydra. That's the end of the lightning round. We have a final score of Yarmouth with 495 points. They'll be moving on. Our losing team, Bangor, 100 points. Played a great match. Congratulations to both teams. Be sure to tune in next time as Mount Ararat takes on Marshwood. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on High School Quiz Show Maine.
Production support for High School Quiz Show Maine is provided by Energy is about more than just keeping the lights on. It's about living life. As parents, friends, and teammates, Unitil is proud to support High School Quiz Show Maine. Unitil, more than a utility, part of your community.
Home renovations can increase the value of your home. Safety Insurance offers a variety of home insurance products to cover your home's increased value. You can ask an independent agent about Safety Insurance. Safety Insurance will help you manage life's storms.
Since 1852, Bangor Savings Bank has been dedicated to keeping New Englanders at the heart of what they do. That means investing in communities they serve and supporting families and businesses. You matter more.
And by viewers like you. Thank you.